Our coach.
Big one, coach.
Yeah.
Also to see Bafana Bafan starting their game here today. Also, most of your boys who are here today. What are your expectations from this one?
No, first of all, I came to support South Africa.
Thank you.
Not only our boys. Our boys will play, but I'm here to support South Africa.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. We are back. The show is called TBR, a double SF show, which simply means the big R solution. And then I already indicated what does big R solutions means. It simply means all the positive R words in English, those that start with the letter R. With the emphasis on reading, because the power is in reading. Now, let me remind you that my name is the Saubrey Boyz Walefatshe, and then I'm with you. I'm not by myself. So, Rekaufela, Sisonke, Remoho, Singwe, Onse Sam, we are together. The beat goes on, Mushito Zwelapele. We have a big one. I said, let me just do a pre-match show between us, Bafana Bafana, and Egypt. This one is a big one. It's a very big one. Remember, everybody's looking forward to us qualifying. And then according to the pundits, everybody's saying both teams will qualify. But prior to that, we need to pass Egypt. I'm going to show the fixtures because there are a lot of games today. And then after this, tomorrow morning, we'll also share what you call the results. We'll do the post-match interview or post-match to see how did they do. And then today, I'm also gonna look at EPL. There are games coming today. A big one is the one between Man United versus Newcastle. And remember, this title race is on there. The title race is on at EPL. And then, yes, one might say, no, it's too early, man. They've just played only 17 games. But we know that there's nothing like too early. Even if it's still early, but you know what? They're already, gearing themselves up. The Man City man is not here. You would be talking about his team, Man City. Whether do they have a chance? I wonder whether Arsenal will finally win the league. Arsenal, they look like always pretenders. They always play there. We'll watch the space. Now, but before I do that, I still want to, pay tribute to the people who contributed to the development of football. One of such person is Koban Ndlovu in Tembisa, who was the president of Sanfa immediately after they've splitted. I know him very well. I'm family friends with them. His son is a very close friend of mine, Dr. Ndlovu, who's a psychologist, a very successful businessman in Tembisa. They also contributed. And who else? Sinki Munisi. Sinki Munisi also contributed in our football. If people don't know, Sinki Munisi is the one who discovered Mshishi. Everybody's talking about Mshishi today, but Sinki Munisi was one of those people who discovered Mshishi. And the other person that I like, and I talk to him from time to time, who's doing very, very well, and I appreciate, is Steve Sikano. Steve Sikano has got a foundation. You know what he does? He do a very good job. He goes to school, give out school shoes, all those things. Not only that, he also look after the soccer legends, the players who were there, and then looking after them, giving them food parcel. And I always say, hey, Steve, I'll have time to interview you about your project. He's doing well. I know that now he's a soccer pundit, analyst at SABC. So he's doing quite well. I know that they use him a lot, Radio 2000, and then, he's really trying his best. So those are people that I really appreciate. Like I said, I've seen Ezrom Nyandoro also launching his foundation because in essence, people, we need to build. We need to build. We need to contribute. We need to contribute. I saw Burkina Faso winning their game. I think that has added to the spirit of what is happening in Burkina Faso immediately after Captain Ibrahim Traore took over. There is a whole lot of positiveness in Burkina Faso. So big up to Burkina Faso. So you may think that we are talking sports only, but sports add a lot of element in terms of positiveness, in terms of financial awareness. Now, let me just indicate that, let me show you the fixtures, okay, for today. Yeah, the fixtures for today. I'm sure you can see that one. The games are Angola versus Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe, they're here, southern part of the African continent, and we all want the southern part. Even Angola are on the southern part. We know Angola has been very, very, very instrumental in assisting South Africa to get the liberation. Egypt, they'll be playing against us. And then there's also Zambia and Comoros. Zambia also, we can't forget what Zambia did. The old man, KK, did a lot for us. And then he lived for a very, very long time. And then, and also Morocco and Mali. And then if you look at the history between South Africa and Morocco, those who don't know history very well, let me just tell you that when Nelson Mandela tried to escape trying to get funding, he was assisted by the Moroccans. And I know that JGZ Zuma is involved with the Moroccans as we speak now. So, so we are trying to reconstruct Africa again. So those are the fixtures. But let me check in terms of our page. As I told you, this is our page. As you can see, the logo there is headed by Tabiso. Please join that page, and then in that page we want you to debate. We want you to contribute, give us information, because that's very, very important. We need to share information so that people understand exactly what's happening. Yeah. So those are some of the things that are happening. And then yes, we have our fans there. You know that I worked with Saddam very, very closely. And then yes, here is Saddam and Machaka, and both they are down there in Egypt, and then we are happy for them. And then just to keep the spirit and then motivate the boys. So those are some of the things. As I said, I'll be talking to you about the EPL to say what's happening. And then here is the log. Arsenal is on top, and then we know that Man City is just breathing on their neck. But we'll see what's going to happen, and I'll also show the fixtures. Then we'll touch on that one quickly and see who's going to do what. And then I want us to look at our game against Egypt. So today we'll be doing that one, but later, and then we'll therefore, not later, tomorrow, then we'll be doing the post matches. All right, we would have watched all the games. Yeah, as you can see today, Man United, they are playing Newcastle. It's a very big one, this one. And Nottingham Forest, they are playing Man City. Arsenal, they are playing Brighton. So we'll watch the space very closely and see what's going to happen. Yeah, so those are some of the games that are going to take place today. And then we want to see what's going to happen. And then, as I say, we are watching the space very closely to see how Bafana Bafana are going to play against against Egypt. And remember, us and Egypt, we are always head to head all the time. Remember in 1998, when Jomo was the coach, and then they beat us 2-0 to take that AFCON crown. And then the captain was the coach, the current coach, Hassan, the Egyptian great. He was the coach of, he was the captain of that team. So we want to see what's going to happen. It's going to be very, very, very exciting. And then, so I don't know what to take. Do you think we'll win? Do you think it's going to be very tough? And then, yeah, and then, guys, those who keep on complaining about, hey, we want this one and that one. No, the time is gone, guys. We are not going to focus on those now anymore. We are just going to focus on the game. So a coach has selected players. So let's stop. Let's stop now. Always making an issue of who's playing who, why coach did not select this one, and so on. Now let's look at the fixtures of today. Let's look at the fixtures of today. Let's see. Now, these are the previous results, 3 previous results between us and what you call and Morocco. These are the 3 fixtures of us. Sorry about that. I'm trying to share something quickly here. Okay, let's see. Okay, all right. We are looking at the fixture. I mean, the past 3 results. How did we play against each other? This is the fixture. Angola will be playing now at 2:30. They'll be playing Zimbabwe, and then Egypt, they are playing us, and then also Zambia, they'll be playing Comoros, and then Cameroon, Morocco will be playing Mali. So these are very exciting games. So all of us are looking forward to see what happened. But if you ask me, if you look at head to head between us and Egypt, we've played 4 games, okay, against each other. Okay, and then Egypt. I don't know why I say Argentina. Egypt has won 4, and then we won only 8 games, and then they scored 15 goals in our past encounter, and then we scored about 10 goals, and then the MVP or the head-to-head in terms of the players, and then you see Mohamed Salah is worth about 65 million, when Mbogazi is worth about 10 million, and then the biggest win for Egypt or the team is 2-0, and then even this side. And then in terms of FIFA ranking for the 2 teams, Egypt is number 35. We are number 61. In terms of the squad value, our squad is worth 44.5 million euros, whereas the Egyptian, they're worth 136 euros. Yeah, so we are going to have a very exciting game, and then we are certain that we are going to do well, and then I'm sure. Now, if you look at this game, the previous game, the last game, that's where I feel that Hugo Bros, this guy has made us proud. He has really made us proud. If I may share a bit of his resume so far, what he has done. Look what Hugo Bros has done. He has played 50 games and he has won 25, which is 50%. All right. And then he lost about 19 of them. No, it's draw. It's draw and then lost about 6. Which is very good. And then in terms of points in terms of points is 1.88 per game. And then in terms of goals scores, we scored 77 under his leadership. And then let's see. Don't worry, my eyes are a little bit an issue. And then what is this ranking? As I indicated, 14. So this guy has done very well. You can get it on our page there, which I said is headed by Tabiso. So please join that page. Now, as I said, the last time I was so excited when I see, because I was worried when he substituted Ngota, and then because Ngota has been doing well, and I must say Ngota has been selected as the player of the year in Saudi Arabia. So if you guys can check that, please bear with me, and then but I'm sure we'll be able to do something about it. I'm really sorry about that, because it's like I disrespect. It's like I disrespect the audience, whereas that's not the case. The audience needs to be respected. Okay, yeah. Like I said, when he introduced Moremi, I was against that personally. But what I've learned about this coach, Hugo Bruce, studied the games very, very well. And then always when he comes back after second half, he does something. He introduced Muremi. Muremi changed the game. Even the Egyptians, they accepted, even the team that we were playing, they accepted that the changes that he brought, Hugo Bros, that made us to change the game. The game changed completely. It changed completely to what it ultimately came into be. So that is why I'm saying I really respect Hugo Bros. You know what? This time we want to win the cup. We don't want to be number 2, number 3, or number 4. We want to win the cup. But if you ask me, if Hugo Bros does not win, you know what? I'll be satisfied. The man has done well. He has done well. He brought us out of the wreckage. We were like a team. We're a laughing stock, but everybody now knows about us. We are also being seen as one of the contenders. And then, so that makes me feel very proud that Hugo is doing extremely well with our squad. And then we have so many. TLB, this boy is a gem. TLB has just come to the PSL, the PSL, not long, but look what he has done. Now he has signed a contract with Chicago Fire in MLS, and then the same thing that happened during the time of what is it? OJ Mabizela, and then I see that, but TLB is at another level. I'm so much impressed. Now, if you ask me, I hear people are complaining about Ngezana. One thing that I want to mention is Ngezana has improved tremendously. We need to be honest with that. I see a better player now compared to Ngezana that used to play for Kaizer Chiefs. All right, he has improved a lot. Yes, there are some weak links, but if I am to suggest, remember, if I make my own suggestion as a swing, I would suggest that let him take Sailor and play him there at the center back, and then also take Morena to play the position of Sailor and take out Ngezana. All right, that would be my opinion. And then Mudiba played well the last game. As much as I don't have much confidence in him, but the last game I saw Mudiba was doing well. Well, Mbule, as much as he faded towards the end, but you know, Mbule is a gem, is a real gem. I hope Mbule will rise to the occasion in this game. Mukwena, as usual, is always a rising star. Mukwena is always there, he's always shining, and I hope he'll do well today. Well, the list said about, what's his name? Rowan Williams, the guy is so good. Rowan Williams, and then ever since we went there, Rowan Williams' standard is at another level. He's consistent, and then the other thing that he adds an element of being another defender, okay? And then he gets the ball, he distributes very well. So that will add value. We are crossing fingers that we win, because if we win this game, and then when we play the game of Zimbabwe, it will be much easier. Because when we play Zimbabwe, we want to win all the games. Hopefully, when we play Zimbabwe, then he can introduce other players. Because if we win this game, we'll get 3 points. Then we'll have 6 points. So the game of Zimbabwe, it will be academic. And then just introduce other players. And remember, we still have Mahopa there, who puts so much pressure on the defenders. So, yeah, I'm just talking about the strength of Bafana Bafana. But what I've seen with this AFCON, all the teams are at another level. Even that Egypt, they are another team. They are playing well. It was also exciting to see Zinedine Zidane being there supporting his son. It was a very good thing to say. You know, still remembers that he's from Algeria. The son preferred to play for Algeria. And I'm told that today, the game of Morocco, Mbappe will be there, Ousmane Dembele, they'll be there just to go and support Ashraf, and you know, their friend. So that's very good. This tournament is doing exceptionally well, and we are really, really enjoying. So I'm sure you are also enjoying. But what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What will be the score? Will the score 1, or the score will be 2-0, or I don't expect any lose. I want us to win. So you'll tell me what to take. But let's watch the game very closely and see what's going to happen. But like I said to you at some point, remember that we are a financial company, and then we always educate about finance. So I want to share with you the books that we have on our store, so that you can be able to empower yourself, because reading is power, knowledge is power. And then I'm also going to continue to share the lesson that you learn in the life of Lionel Messi. Remember, he was in India not long ago, and then so I've added another book today. The owner of the book never gave me the permission to promote it, but I'm promoting it deliberately, because I love what he has put in that book. Here I'm referring to Robert Marawa. His book, if you really you lay your hands on that book, is a very nice book. He's very brutal, very honest about you know, his engagement in football. So if you want to learn more, lay your hands on that book, Marawa's book, and I'm sure it's called Grim Shedele. That is the book. Remember, his Grim Shedele is what do you call, is his mantra. Oh yeah. So I read the book, brilliant book, and then Robert lays the truth bare. All right, and then if you are a fan of a team, you may be angry, but I think he speaks his mind. He speaks what he thinks happens in his career. And he even spoke about his 4 heart attack. And he has a belief that one of them was engineered. That is his belief. So lay your hands on the book. I'm sure it's being sold at Exclusive Books or any other book outlet. I'm trying to get him to interview him at some point. because really I appreciate people who are doing exceptionally well. Then the other book is this one. It's called How to Get Out of Bad Debts, Use Other People's Money and Resources to Get Rich. Because the rich, they don't use their money. They use other people's money to get rich. So if you use your money, that's a wrong way of doing things. And then my first book is called Secrets for Becoming Rich. This one is in first and second edition. And then you can also get it from us. You'll see the WhatsApp number at the end of the show. Then, and then the other book is this one by a very good friend of mine, Dr. Darlene Small. Dr. Darlene Small she's an economist, and she worked for Reserve Bank for 33 years as an advisor to the governors of the Reserve Bank. One of the people that she advised was Mr. Tito Mboweni, and then the late Mr. Tito Mboweni. So yeah, and then lay your hands on the book and see what can you learn, because it's all about learning if we are to progress in life. The other one is this one, is Entrepreneur Awakening with a Drive. A friend of mine is just coming here, Nzunane Umistindlovu, a very good comrade. We used to be in the trenches together. I visited his home. I was so impressed. He has built a very good property for himself. I'm so excited because some of our comrades, man, I don't know what happened. They just lost it. And that's not what we want. And I told him that next year I'm going to schools because I want to motivate learners to stay away from booze, alcohol, and all those things. And then I know that Mr. Ndlovu is against those issues. So those are the people that I want to bring, very positive people. So this one is called Entrepreneur Awakening with a Drive. Mr. Ndlovu, one day when we are in Witbank, and then you want to sleep somewhere, go to this place, visit Vagasha. It's there in Witbank, Malahleni. So those are some of the books that we have. And then now, let's move on now to the Messi Special. As you know that I always do the Messi Special. And then you may be wondering, when we say, now we are going to do the Messi Special. Remember, I'm still teaching you about understanding how people operate in terms of building business. You know, there is one thing that excites me when I talk about Lionel Messi, because I learn a lot from him, watching him from a distance, what he does. So that tells me that this guy is from another angle, and then this is from another planet. Now, remember I spoke of loyalty, that they invited him to India. He went there. It was a 3-day tour. Okay, it was not just a visit. All right. For the organizers, they wanted to achieve particular objectives. But inviting Messi, you'll spend a lot of money. So for him, it was, it was business, but I think it was beyond business. Just for 3-4 days. On the third day, when he was supposed to leave, and then they said he was invited by another businessman who said, no, please, man, we just want you to come. The reason why we want you to come, stay with us. And he stayed with those people. And then having stayed with them, and then they gave him a watch worth a lot of money, but it was only that. It's not just meeting for the sake of meeting. It's networking. I'm sure there's future development there. And then he agrees. And one of the things that he is more concerned with is youngsters. He's always, coaching youngsters, because let me tell you how business works. The youngsters or the youth are the future. So that is why he's doing that, because he knows that those are the future, and then they'll contribute to the building of his business empire, because he's aware that very soon he will be retiring. But this is one of the things that I like that he did. They invited the son of the soil, in India, which is Sachin Tendulkar. This man is a hero in India. He's like God in India, the best cricketer. And then Sachin Tendulkar gave him his number 10 shirt, as you can see. And this is not just a number 10 shirt, because Sachin Tendulkar was also wearing number 10. It was a number 10 that he wore during the World Cup in 2011 when he won the World Cup. So it had some symbolism. So the mere fact that he embraced Sachin Tendulkar, it was a question of symbolism. Embrace a symbol, okay? And Sachin Tendulkar, I know whoever is behind Sachin Tendulkar, they are not just doing it. They know that, having Lionel Messi as part of our, network, it's good for their business, all right? It is important all the time as you do things. You always think, how do you advance yourself financially? It's all about money at the end of the day, okay? While working, yeah, some of us are teachers, nurses, doctors, and all that. But if you ask at the bottom line, why? We want money at the end of the day. But I prefer people who make money legitimately, not criminals, And I'm sure Mr. Ndlovu is one of those people who fights criminals. Here in Tembisa, here, there was a group called Amatoaster. They were giving us hell. So Nzonano was one of those guys who was fighting those boys. And funny enough, those boys, some of them, I taught them, they were my students, and then, but they were terrorizing the township. As you can see here, mess with the youngsters, as I say, he always, he knows where to position himself. And then, here again, it was a walkabout in India there. And then, as you can see, there were celebrities, there were ministers, and so on. And then that is not just an accident. So you need to learn how to do things going forward. Don't just do things for the sake of doing things. Now, and then the other thing that I want to show you, he embraced the Indian culture, because at some point, this red thing that they put on the forehead, and Messi was having it, and then he wore their scarf and so on, because he wants to show that I'm part of you guys. I'm embracing you. It's a bigger goal. It's a bigger goal. You can't say, I'm a Zulu, I don't want to talk to Xhosas. I'm a Zulu, I don't want to talk to Sutus. You are a human being at the end of the day, That is why I say I like people who are doing contribution. I saw that Baba Mtetwa also has his foundation in Kronstadt, where he comes from. It is very good. Those are things that we want to see happening. And then, so we need to, as we do things, see how do we build. Because at the end of the day, we want to build the nation. We don't want to destroy the nation. It's very, very important. As I said, it was also exciting to see that Burkina Faso won, because the winning of Burkina Faso, occurs well for occurs well for the people of Burkina Faso immediately after Captain Traore, took over. The people there, they love him, they adore him, and then the support, that motivation. And you see Burkina Faso is improving, is developing. That's what we want. So that's it. That's TBR, or the big R solutions. And then this is TBR SSF Show, which simply means TBR Solution Sport Forum. We are doing sports, but at the same time, we use sports as a vehicle to educate. Because by profession, I'm an educator. So yeah, for people to understand some of these things, they need to be educated. Now, let me remind you, we are a financial company, and then currently we are busy helping the people who are working for government, who wants to leave. They're with GPF, and then so they want to leave. We know that GPF has introduced those who wants to leave earlier than 60, 55. They will allow them to leave, and then allow them to leave without no penalty. But you need to look this thing very closely. I'll be doing another video just to show to show you how to look it very closely. And then so that at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, as you go out, you don't want to lose the money that you made or you accumulated. Your strategy at all times to make sure that you save as much as you can. The little cent that you can save, it's very important. That is why they say, save the cents, the rents will take care of themselves. I once told somebody about that principle, that if you save the cent, the rents will take care of themselves. And I've seen it myself. In my books, I explain how did I do that. So people say, for instance, if I can may ask you, how many of us, when they see 10 cents or 1 rand, we pick it up? We don't. We say, this one does not have a value. You see, whereas it has value, So, but yeah, so as a person who's going on pension, you must always try to see how can you save. And we as TBR, or the bigger financial services, a registered financial service provider with the license number FSP 47430, will show you how to save both on penalties and tax. Let me tell you, we can make you pay 0 tax. In other words, you don't pay tax, all right? Because you are allowed not to pay tax as long as you follow the rules of taxation, all right? So it's just that people don't know that. So we are here to show you that. And then even if you want to know about this strategy that the government has come up, I saw one of the TikTok, I think I'll be responding to that one. A person says, now I've lost 300,000, I've lost 150,000, 250,000, because of the government has introduced, or GPF has introduced what you call the GPF actuarial interest. I'll explain about that in that video. So very soon we'll be flighting that video and show you. We can show you how to navigate and avoid you losing that money, because at the end of the day, you don't have to lose. The other thing that I want to indicate that we do, we have a mentoring program. If you want to be mentored, if you want to be educated, just tell us, drop us a WhatsApp. And let me tell you, it's very easy. We do it via Zoom. You don't have to come here. So you can connect with us via Zoom, whether in Cape Town, Durban, East London, here in Kempton Park or Tembisa. You can connect, and then I'll show you and teach you how to do those things, because it's a journey. It's a continuous journey. That is why even now, even if I do sports, I always try to see where are the financial lessons in the whole thing, because it's all about money. Now you may say, what's happening in Ukraine? People are fighting. The bottom line is money. I can tell you that the bottom line is money. So they look. That is why after the war, there will be sanctions and all those things. So those dynamics, you need to understand. They're not living in a vacuum. They're not living in an isolation. You're a person that I don't like politics. Everything is politics, okay? Because politics affects every aspect of life. And now, let's see, before I leave, let me share the last books that I want you to have and then learn about them. So remember I said one of the books that I wrote is called How to Get Out of Bad Debts, Use Other People's Money to get rich. Because like I'm making a mistake. How I turned 500 Rand into a $1 million business. That's the book that I wrote. So, and now let me share the books that I want you to have, which we have here. And remember, I also said, I've also written a book. I've also wrote in the book of Andile Mkutama, the book called Blacks Cannot Be Racist. So I'll show you that book. This is the book, How I Turned 500 Rand into a $1 million business. He told me like yesterday that he wrote another book. The book is called, I'm looking forward to get the copy of that book. The book is called The Guptas versus Stellenbosch Mafia. Looking forward to read the book. So reading is power. Let's see. Let me see. It looks like okay. And then, because I want to share. Okay, that book, the one that I'm talking about, the one of Andile Mkitama. Let me show you what's happening. Wow. I'm trying to share the book. Okay, yeah, here you are. You know what? We are not familiar with this technology, but we are getting there. Thina masifunda isikole besifunda ngama-pencil. There was a pencil during our time. The book is called Blacks Can't Be Racist. All right, lay your hands on this book and read and see what can you learn from it. So those are some of the books that you can get from us. And then at the end of the show, you'll see the WhatsApp number. And then once you get that WhatsApp number, you can drop us a WhatsApp, then we'll tell you how to get a book. I think Robert Marawa's book it must be somewhere in exclusive books, but it's a nice read. Thank you so much appreciated. Fela Sesonke, we are together. On Sesam, the beat goes on. I thank you. Bye-bye. Hello, everyone. We are back. My name is the Saubrey Boyz Walefatshe from TBR, which simply means the Big R Solutions. Here I'm representing the company called the Big R Financial Service Provider, Financial Services, which is an authorized and registered service provider. Our license number is FSP 47430. I'm talking to all government employees, age 55 and above, who are already thinking of exiting the system. They either want to go on pension or they want to resign. Two things that comes to mind. How do I save? How do I save on penalties? How do I ensure that the tax is not so huge? What can I do to make sure that I achieve those goals? Now, if you want to know how to achieve those goals, come to us, drop us a WhatsApp, we'll call you. The WhatsApp number is very simple. It's 067 915 1447. 067 915 1447. Drop us a WhatsApp. Don't call, but drop us a WhatsApp. And then we are working together with Alan Gray on this product, on this project. So Alan Gray is our product supplier. So we assist people using that product supply. So it's up to you to give us a shout or drop us a WhatsApp. We'll therefore come back to you. I thank you.
Kgotsong, dumelang. Ke le tsebetsa ka buka ya ka e buang ka tsela yeo ke tsamaileng bophelong ba ka. Le tla utlwa ka mathata ao ke bileng le ona le katleho yeo ke e fihletseng. Hape le hore radio e nkahile jwang hore ke fetole bophelo ba ka. Takatso ya ka ke hore o fumane buka ena ya ka e tla fetola bophelo ba hao. Ya buang ke Dr. Chomani. Take it easy.